What's up, carnivores, and welcome to the pellet smoking, grilling, offset smoking world, whatever it is that you may be stepping into. If you're stepping into this world, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna happen, is that you're gonna sort of get overwhelmed with all of the things that it seems like you need to make good barbecue. And in truth, there's only a few things that you really need. And we're gonna go over that today, sort of simplify your transition from the I've never smoked anything before to I just made something better than anything I've ever had in a restaurant in my life, and I can't believe I just did this. You need a few key tools to make that happen, and we're gonna get rid of a lot of the noise today and help you to make those choices. One of the most important things that you can add to your new budding barbecue arsenal after you decide on what type of smoker that you want is to get yourself either some waxless butcher paper or some heavy duty aluminum foil. We got this from Members Mark. Look, I bought this roll a long time ago. I just mainly cook for my family. It's 500 feet. It just lasts a really long time. And if you want to wrap in foil, you do not want to use the regular stuff that comes from the grocery store. You want to get the heavy duty aluminum foil and waxless butcher paper. You're gonna see things that say peach waxless butcher paper, white waxless butcher paper. The most important thing is that it's waxless. Make sure you don't get waxed butcher paper. You want the waxless. And so with that being a pretty cheap option, next thing you want to get into is some gloves. Look, you need gloves to handle the barbecue, to handle the raw food. For handling raw food, you can't beat black nitrile gloves. Just keep them around, you know. I will give you this one good tip, and that is if you normally wear a large glove, get an extra large. I always get the large for some reason. It's just in my Amazon cart, and they're always a nightmare to get on. Don't let there be any heat. If my hands start getting sweaty, you can barely get them on. Extra large gloves. If you got really big hands, get the XXL. Make them easy to get on and off. It'll save you a lot of frustration in your glove application game. Next, as far as gloves are concerned, if you want something to handle the hot food, these will not suffice. You can supplement in some of these cotton gloves and just wear these over the top of these. And then all you gotta do is just throw those away. No washing or cleaning involved, and you can reuse these. But the pack that I bought was like 20 for a few bucks, not bad at all. If you don't wanna do that, you can get some of these, I don't know exactly what they're made of, but they're high heat material and they've got stuff for gripping on them. There's a lot of different brands. These particular gloves came from the Meter company. The only problem with those is if you grab under, let's say, a unwrapped brisket and it's rendering fat like crazy, it will make its way through this material onto your hands, and you know it when it does. A solution to that is to get one of these solid rubber gloves. They work great. When I get done with them, I just wash them like I wash my hands with some soap, and they're good to go. It's pretty easy to clean up, but there is one thing you need to know is that they can be a little bit slick. And so be aware of that if you go with the solid rubber gloves. Top two things: something to wrap your proteins up, either post-cook or during the stall, and some gloves to handle everything with. Next thing on my list of things that you need for making good barbecue is you're going to need a good quality knife. Whether it's a chef's knife, a really cool chef's knife, or a meat slicer, which, you know, if you're watching barbecue content, you see people slicing up their briskets with these really long, sharp knives, and everything goes really well, and it just looks really cool. But at home, I'm just gonna tell you something. You don't have to have this. These things can be quite expensive, or you can get cheaper brands. What you really need is probably what you've already got, which is just a knife that is sharp. We've had this knife in my family for, I think we may have got it for a wedding present or something. It's a Chef Deluxe, and it is not by any means super expensive, high quality steel knife or anything like that, but keep it sharp. You need to have a sharp knife. So just take one of your kitchen knives, put a good edge on them, and you're gonna do just as good slicing up your barbecue or trimming a brisket or whatever it is that you're trying to do, as long as the knife is good as sharp and you're careful with it. As you move on into your barbecue adventure, you will probably end up buying some of these nicer knives and getting you some cool looking knives, because, you know, who doesn't like cool knives? Who doesn't like cool knives? I love cool knives. But if you're just getting into barbecue and you're already purchasing a bunch of stuff, it may be something you can save yourself some money on by just putting a nice edge on the knives that you've already got. One big part of making barbecue, and this is my least favorite part, is the mess. It creates so much mess. One of the most important parts about making good barbecue is getting the fat to render down. If you don't get the fat to render down, you're gonna be sitting there scratching your head saying, I don't know what I did wrong. I'm not sure where I went wrong. My barbecue's tough, my barbecue's dry, blah, blah, blah. You gotta get the fat to render down. The only problem is that as it renders down, some of it's gonna render out and it's gonna get all over everything. And so you need some tools to help you clean up your smoker. One of the things that you can do is you can cook over the top of an aluminum tray, and this will catch everything. So if you've got a smoker that's got a second rack, whether you're using a vertical or a bigger pit that's got a top rack and a bottom rack, if you've got that option, put one of these pans underneath there. Super simple, cheap way to keep your pit a little bit more clean, and it'll save you a lot of time and frustration. As far as your grates are concerned, you can get a standard tool, one of these grill scrapers. You know, you've got the metal scraper and then the bristles. You can clean with one of those, really cheap options, but it's important. Or you can get one of these Q swipers. They come with wipes. I'll usually hit mine with a brush and then load up my Q swiper with one of these wipes and just go over everything. You know, get some of that fat buildup on the grates off, expose the metal a little bit, and then I just feel better about putting barbecue on those grates. As far as keeping your grease bucket clean, you can go and check out the guys over at Drip EZ. These are really cheap. You just take one out, drop it into your grease bucket, and it catches all of that stuff, and then you just pull this out and throw it away. Simplifies things a whole lot. You can use one every cook if you want, every other cook, and it just is gonna simplify your getting rid of your overflow fat drippings without too much trouble. One of the last things on my list of things that are pretty important to have, and this is one of the most important, if your smoker does not come with meat probes, you need a way to check that internal temperature, and you can spend as little or as much as you want on these things. There are so many options on the market that it can become overwhelming, and the price tag on some of these things can definitely be overwhelming. There are a lot of brands, and a lot of times, and I'll say this with confidence, the price tag will indicate quality. Not always. There are some brands that are much more affordable and offer, sorry, I had to run off these birds. There are brands that offer quality stuff for cheaper, and if you've just bought a smoker, you've just bought some foil, you've just bought some pans, you've just got some gloves, maybe you've got a knife, and now you're thinking, I gotta get a meat probe because my unit didn't come with any, or I want one that I can, have more control over, check from my phone or something. The number one thing I would recommend is to get a meat pin. It's always gonna be more affordable than some of the leave-in meat thermometers, and if you go with like this one right here, this is the ThermoWorks ThermoPen 1. It's the best on the market in my opinion. It just allows you to go in, and not only do you get to check the temp very quickly, you also get that probe check where you get to see how tender it is. Because it don't matter what the temperature is, it don't matter how long it's been in there, if it's not tender to probe, it's not tender. And so that just gives you two checks in one where you get to poke it and check the temp. So that is just extremely important. Last but not least, I'm gonna throw in a bonus in there. This is not anything that you have to have, I guess, but you kind of do. You kind of do have to have it, I think. But nothing is more overwhelming than all the stuff that you think you might need to make barbecue, other than when you get over there on the seasoning aisle at the grocery store trying to figure out what rub you're gonna use. Always start off with a good salt, pepper, garlic. If you don't put anything else on your barbecue, salt, pepper, garlic, high quality smoke, and cooking to temp, you're gonna blow yourself away, you're gonna blow your family away. They're gonna like, you need to start a restaurant. And maybe you do. But start off with salt, pepper, garlic. Other than that, just go off of recommendations, and all of the bigger rubs are all very good. Just play around with them. You'll find some that you don't like that everybody loves. You'll find some that you do like that's not as popular. And just pick it up as you go, and I promise, man, you are gonna have so much fun making barbecue with these basic tools that you can add to your arsenal, and then just stack things up as you go. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Have a fire extinguisher close by. You might think that you're like the most detailed person in the world and I never make mistakes and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? If that smoker catches on fire and you don't have one of these nearby, there's not much you can do about it. Shut it down, put a wet towel over the exhaust on the smoker, and turn the power completely off and get it away from your house if you have it close to your house. But besides that, have one of these close by. You're cooking with grease and fire. Those things sometimes don't go well together. So make sure that you have one of these nearby. They're cheap and you'll never regret having one on the day that you need it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if there's something on your top items list that I didn't have in my list that you think deserves a higher spot. I'll make sure and make another one of these videos and let everybody know what everybody contributed. So let me know in the comment section below, what's your top 1 to 5 items that you think are part of every beginner's barbecue arsenal and that will just elevate the barbecue game exactly where you want it to be right off the bat. Thanks so much for watching. Come over to American Smoke Carnivores on Facebook. I'm in there every day. Thanks for watching. Smoke on, and I'll see y'all in the next video.